In a world where car companies are numbered in the hundreds, Chevrolet, Pontiac, Honda, Mitsubishi, Kawasaki, Cadillac, Oldsmobile, Lotus, Toyota, Acura, Nissan, Lexus, Jeep, you need to know the facts, the latest information for everything about cars, trucks, motorcycles, and ATVs. This is Speed.
That's right, welcome back to Speed, only on the B3 Radio Network. You can give us a call at any time at 626-532-7154 or email us at speedradiob3@yahoo.com. And don't forget, now we are on iTunes. Subscribe to the B3 Radio channel on iTunes, on the iTunes Store. So cool. And I am your host, Brian Bombardes, and behind the boards, running them, is Boontar MacGyver Horn. How you doing, man?
Tired. Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Yep, just has.
Well, it couldn't be any worse or a long day for Subaru, who has a recall notice once again. Seems like I'm doing a recall notice every week now, huh?
It's not a good way to start off the year with the companies.
I'd rather get these out of the way, though. If you happen to be a lucky owner of a Subaru Legacy or Outback, yeah, you might have problems with your side curtain airbag modules where they're not inflating properly. Here's the problem. The incorrect the propellant mixture may not be significant enough to inflate the components that make the gas expel the airbag properly. So there's a combination of air and a special kind of like chemical gas that inflates the airbag quicker than just pumping air directly into it with like a compressed container. And apparently it doesn't have the proper mixture, where these 2012 Subaru and Outback models, the inflator is too low, and so in an effect it could actually cause more damage to your head or your face if you hit this airbag that doesn't have the proper inflated amount in there. So that's the problem, and the fix is that Subaru will begin notifying owners of the two models in late March, early April, or they'll also notify dealers, and then dealers will contact you, and they will replace one or both sides of the curtain airbag modules for free at no cost. And if you do have one of the Outback or Legacy models of Subaru, you can contact them at 1-800-782-2783. And the number of vehicles is only 381.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, not too bad, but still, that's a lot of vehicles. And that's if you have a vehicle that was manufactured between December 1st, 2011 through December 23rd, 2011.
That's a short time frame.
Yeah, short time frame, and there were no reported deaths and or injuries linked to the recall notice. This is just was administered by the National Highway Traffic Association, Safety Administration, I should say, but it was also volunteered by Subaru to take care of the issues. And that's actually the only recall notice I have for this week, which is a good thing.
Yay!
But, I mean, that does cost a lot of money, and also, on the other thing, what is this? Is this a Legacy, an Outback?
That looks like a Legacy.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a very good-looking vehicle anyway. There is some cool news, I have to say. Gibbs, I guess, is a manufacturer of some weird kind of like...
I've never heard of Gibbs.
Yeah, they're more... I haven't heard of them that much. They're not really commercial. They're more of industrial.
That's probably why.
Yeah, McKean's like machinery. Well, they've developed this really cool thing that they call the aqua. It's what they call an amphibious truck.
Oh my god!
It's a vehicle, and if you want to see the pictures, you can always visit b3radionetwork.webs.com, and under the show notes, you'll see a little link to see that says check out the pictures that we show on the show, and right there, and I'll put these pictures right there. Apparently, the question that Gibbs wants to answer for people is, do you need a different kind of off-roading? Gibbs might have the ideal vehicle to meet your Navy SEAL ambition needs.
Yeah.
This is a truck that also can go into the water. Dude, this is actually pretty awesome. These wheels actually like crawl up.
They retract?
Yeah, they retract.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a...
But
yeah, there it is. There it is in the water.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool, isn't it? It's all watertight. It's all waterproof. The wheels retract. It's like there was a James Bond movie where the car turned into a submarine and did the same thing. Yeah, and
that's pretty cool.
There it is going in the mud with the top down.
It's a convertible.
Yeah, it is a convertible. I think this is the entire convertible model, where I think they have a hardtop version with the enclosure like this, and then they have another model with the just complete openness. But that's actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah, but I'm guessing the starting price would be like kind of high.
Yeah, I mean it does go at high speeds. They don't really go into too much depth. It's more of just the concept they're trying to get across, that it's a boat/truck.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, no, not at all. It doesn't give any pricing, and it also doesn't go into too much detail about like how many payloads it can have. According to this, it does have a V8 twin turbo engine in it.
Oh, wow.
It can hold up to 15 people.
What?
It produces 350 horsepower. I would think something like that would need more, though.
Well, then again, it's on a boat. You don't really.
Yeah, but I mean for the
for driving.
Yeah,
it,
the driving ability. I want to know if it's 4x4 though. I mean, if you're thinking if it's off-roading, it needs to be though, right?
Well, I wouldn't consider that off-roading though.
Well, yeah, this is part of off-roading. You're off-road. You're in right here. It's in the middle of the mud.
Yeah. Well, okay. You know what? No.
It does have. It also has twin jet drivers for the water. So, which those is at 500 horsepower. It's a diesel engines.
Oh.
So I guess it has two options for engine models right now. There's a 500 and a 350 model.
But they're both diesels?
It's the only one I'm reading here is that the 500 horsepower is a diesel engine. It says diesel engines. So yeah, I guess both are diesels.
Oh. You're paying a lot just for the boat, and then you're also paying an extra like $8 per gallon now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, yeah. Here in the United States, diesel is incredibly expensive. What's right now? It's the late February, and gas right now, which at this time of the year in the United States, it's supposed to be the cheapest time to get gas, and right now it's $4.09. So during the summer, it's probably going to be up to $5. That's just the way it always is.
Man.
During the summer, the gasoline prices always skyrocket. At least here in the United States. I'm not sure how the rest of the world works. I know England and all them, they use diesel a lot more. But not good. But yeah, so that is the amphibious truck. Kind of cool.
Damn, $5 per gallon.
And in other news, I do know that recently Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge have been competing for the Michigan State Police to try to recruit their new vehicles. You may remember that being your rearview mirrors, you will always see the Crown Vics here in the United States.
Well, I've always seen the Chargers.
Well, that's actually recently here where we record.
Oh, yeah.
But in like LA, everywhere else, they're Crown Vics.
Yeah.
And I know that Ford is the manufacturer of the Crown Victoria, and they own about a 70% market share of police vehicles.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's why you'll see them all over the place, especially Highway Patrol. All they have is Crown Vics.
Yeah.
But they stopped making the Crown Vic in September of 2011. So it's no longer manufactured.
So, wait, what about parts and accessories?
Well, yeah, they'll still make that stuff, but they always do that. Yeah. But I mean, as of the entire car,
they just
they discontinued the vehicle. And Ford claims the reason they did that was because it was one of the last few cars that they still manufactured in this day and age where it was a full body framed car. It's like a truck where a truck has a full frame underneath it, and then they just have the cab on top.
Oh wow.
And this car was made the same exact way. So it had a frame underneath it and then the body just on top of it. Which older cars back in the 50s and when they first started manufacturing vehicles, they were all like that. Now all cars have turned into the unibody form where the entire car holds up its frame inside of itself. And Ford claims that it's cheaper, even though I've heard otherwise, where if you smash in a unibody vehicle, it's a lot harder to repair because the frame is very relied on each other. Like the back panel, the back section is really relied on the front section being there, and vice versa with all the other parts. Whereas a full body frame, you can smash the top end or cut off the roof, and it won't affect the chassis at all because it's a full solid frame underneath the bottom. But besides that, that means there has been a void for the Crown Vic to be filled, and for the big three in the United States. Dodge has the Charger, like you mentioned. Very good car, has very good specs. And the Chevrolet actually has two models now. They've had the Impala, which is
for cop cars.
Yeah,
right?
just for cop cars. They've had the Impala, which you don't see too many. Chevrolet kind of lost that market share. They used to have a lot of Chevys in the police force, but at least here in California, you don't see too many Chevrolet Impala police vehicles.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I mean, I've seen the I think it's a Yukon, the big old SUV ones.
Yes, and this
Yeah.
report also does include the utility vehicles, but as in cars right now.
Yeah, I've never seen.
You don't really see Impalas here. I've
Yeah.
only seen a handful of them here, and not in
Really?
our city. I've only seen them in California, like the entire state.
I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I've only seen like 2 or 3, a handful.
Huh.
There's an Impala right there, and the Dodge Charger, and the vehicle that's being replaced, that's replacing the Crown Vic for Ford, is the Taurus-based model. So the new Ford Taurus is what's replacing the Crown Vic.
What?
Yeah, well, and also here's the other thing too, is that with these new choices in engines, actually, it was funny. Also, I said that Chevrolet has 2 models for their cop cars. They're bringing a cop car only version, because as of right now the Charger is available as a civilian vehicle as well. The Taurus is also available as a civilian vehicle.
But they're making one that's specifically
For
only
Chevrolet,
for
they have the Impala, which again is a civilian vehicle, but they're also going to bring one over
that's
from
only
Australia, actually, that's only going to be here in the U.S.
an Australian model.
Chevrolet operates around the world.
Huh.
So they have different divisions, different markets everywhere. The vehicles that you find here won't necessarily be in other markets. But
True.
I think it's the Caprice. It's an older Chevrolet name that they've had for years, but here in the U.S. it hasn't been here in the U.S. for, I think, decades. But they're going to bring that over here to the United States. So Chevrolet will be offering 2 vehicles. I'm not sure if they're going to discontinue the Impala as a police vehicle, but as of right now, they're going to have 2. And there's actually pretty good specs. I mean, all of them are rear-wheel drive, except for what I find interesting is that the Impala, the Charger, and it is the Caprice, and the Ford, the Dodge Charger and the Chevrolets are rear-wheel drive. Well, actually, except for the Impala. The Impala is actually front-wheel drive. I don't imagine a police vehicle with front-wheel drive working very well.
The Impala, right?
Yeah, and
that doesn't surprise me.
And it's not surprising that it's a front-wheel drive.
But a cop,
as
a cop car, that's surprising.
Yeah. Also, the Inspector, which is what what Ford is going to call their Taurus based model. The
cop
Taurus
car only?
Yeah, they're gonna Ford.
No.
The Taurus aren't gonna call it the Taurus. They're gonna call it the Interceptor. Sorry, the Police Interceptor. Which was actually the old name for the Crown Vic. They just name it their category model like that. But they also have an all-wheel drive model as well, which I think would be able to handle better. For the Chevrolet Caprice, they do have an estimated 282 horsepower. That's pretty cool. And the Charger right now, the ones that you see driving right here in our city, in Los Angeles, those have 292 horsepower.
Oh, wow.
The Dodge Charger, yeah, that's at 292. The Impala has 302 horsepower. The new based Interceptors, the Fords, those have 280. So they're actually the lowest on the list of horsepower names. And not bad numbers. I mean, they're getting about 18 to about 21, 18 city, 21 highway, which isn't too bad. I mean, they're mainly going to be on the city anyway, so they're probably going to get averages of probably about 16 miles to the gallon with the way they drive those vehicles. But the more surprising thing, that I found out, with your vehicle. But the more surprising thing I found out is that the Ford models are only going to have V6s, while the other ones are going to have all V8s.
Really?
But they do have that new technology that I've been talking about on the show too, is that Ford has the EcoBoost motor that uses a V6 engine with twin turbos in it and direct injection, which
that's pretty much the same power.
It's supposed to be the same equivalent to a big V8. And that's what they've been using on the trucks, and also 50% of Ford's F-150s are the V6 engines with the direct injection and turbo boost in them. So I still do want to go test drive one of the new Fords with the V6 model and see what the difference is between, because I drive a V8 truck, and there's no disappointing power in that truck. It does haul what it needs to do, but I'm still weary of a V6
on a full-size truck.
Yeah, on a full-size truck. And it is surprising though that they just put a V6 inside of some in a category that should be V8. But they do have their SUVs. I know that the Chevrolet has the Tahoe, which is their big giant SUV, and the Ford, I believe they use the Explorers, don't they, or the Expedition? It's one of the two.
I'm thinking it's the Expedition.
Yeah, it's the full-size 2500 version of the regular Expedition, though. The Chevy Tahoe is also re-equipped with extra features that the civilian version wouldn't have either. As in, it has better shocks, more horsepower, bigger engine capacity, and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, but then when you get the civilian car, you can always add that on later.
Add it on, but there are certain parts that you cannot get that are only meant for law enforcement.
Yeah, that's true.
And but it would be kind of cool to get like the the divider cage.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
You can just throw the kids in the back and not worry about them. But that is pretty cool. So there's all that kind of stuff for the police vehicles that are coming out. I am still pretty disappointed that the Crown Vic was discontinued, though.
Well, I don't know. I'm not entirely disappointed, but I'm surprised they're not putting all Chargers, because the Chargers seem to be doing pretty good over here.
The Chargers are good, but I'm not really a big fan of them being cop cars.
Yeah, you don't really see them as, like, you're not used to it, but you know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, I think it's better than the Taurus, though. I don't think the Taurus is fit to be a police vehicle. I think they should have just kept the Crown Vic around and just changed its body to make it a unibody.
Yeah.
Make it just more economically viable for Ford to manufacture it, but just have the same look. Because really, it doesn't. The cop cars don't need to look pretty. That's not the reason they buy them. They buy them for their, their usefulness.
Usages, yeah.
More or less like how construction companies, they don't buy trucks because the trucks look nice. They buy the truck because it has versatility and power. That's their main reason. We need to take a break. This is Speed on the B3 Radio Network.
Get complete shows from Off the Record, Reload, Recharge, Review, Speed, and more. Just go to b3radionetwork.webs.com or subscribe on iTunes.
Welcome back to Speed on the B3 Radio Network. Don't forget you can email us at speedradiob3@yahoo.com or call us on our telephone number at 626-532-7154. I did find some news about, and this is for you, I mainly did this because, I don't know, when I think of this vehicle, dude, I think more or less of your taste in vehicles. This is the 2012 Toyota GT86. Have you heard about this vehicle?
The GT86?
Yes. I don't know why, but when I hear certain vehicles, I think of this for some reason. That's actually a really good-looking car. I actually do like that front end.
Oh, I think that's the remake, actually, not the Scion one. My bad.
Yeah, there's a better picture of it right there.
Huh.
I don't like the Toyota emblem being dipped in like that in the front of the nose.
Nah.
But it is a very good-looking vehicle. Apparently, it will.
Is that whole body style? Is that stock or what?
I think there might be a couple of add-ons. This is by Tom's, which as far as I can do my research, is an aftermarket parts assembly manufacturer.
So that's not stock.
I would not believe. I think the rims might not be. I think what they've added here is maybe the wing in the back or the attempt of a wing. I'm not sure what that is.
I think that's just the lip.
Yeah, lid. I know some of them are doing that nowadays. I think there might be some side fender flares, and the rims I think might be theirs. Not too much going on, but I will say that the vehicle.
That's not bad.
Yeah, the vehicle's. Its styling isn't too bad. You know me, I'm not too much into the import market. I'm not really a fan of curvy cars. I'm a big fan of the American box cars.
Oh, I can't blame you.
Yeah, but this just a little side note that I don't know, when I thought of this, I was like, oh, here's Boontarn.
No, but that doesn't look so bad.
I mean, it is nice to see that Toyota's getting back into the racing game. For years and even decades, all they've been doing is making conservative cars. I'm actually surprised that they still have that one vehicle of theirs, the FJ, that off-roading vehicle, that weird-looking bug-eyed. It has the circle lights.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, it's the most ugliest vehicle I've ever seen Toyota manufacture. I'll see if I can find it, but I think it's called the FJ something. It's like this big off-wheel kind of vehicle. It doesn't look very nice though.
Yeah, but yeah, I really hope Toyota does get back into the racing thing like full on, because they were making pretty good cars.
Yeah, here's the FJ right here. You've probably seen this driving around. It's one of the.
Oh, the one that looks like the Element.
I guess so.
No, because every time I see that, I'm like, what the.
Yeah, this is the FJ concept, and for the company is very conservative in the way that they manufacture vehicles. In the sense of what I mean is that they don't take a lot of chances. They'll make a car that they know can sell. It has good gas mileage. It does the bare minimum of what their customers ask for, and that's all they give you. They don't really give anything above that.
No, but even then though, they stopped racing completely because I think the last 2 cars that were made from Toyota were like the Supra and
That were in the sports category.
Yeah, sports and whatnot. It was the Supra and the MR2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember the MR2. I remember hearing a lot of craze about that back in the day.
Yeah, but they cut them off though just to make nothing but Camrys and Corollas.
Yeah, well, they're more economic. The thing is that sadly, even though everybody wants a sports car, most people will never buy one because it's money and it's not cost effective. And you can manufacture 3 Corollas that would take to manufacture 1 Camaro, and you can sell 3 of them to every one, and then you make your money that way.
Yeah.
Well, I know Toyota has this, and I'm surprised they still have the what's the one that you were driving for a little while?
Oh, you mean the luxury SUV? The
Land
Cruiser?
Yeah, the Land Cruiser. I'm really surprised that they have that for the amount of gas that thing can eat.
It's because it's a luxury. It's considered a luxury.
Which I'm not
SUV.
surprised. If it's a luxury SUV, that should be under the Lexus brand. Then it shouldn't be under Toyota.
Yeah, exactly. But it's I don't know because Lexus is more towards like sedans and whatnot. And then when you think of SUVs.
They do make Lexus. A couple of SUVs though. But I don't think here in the United States have been selling.
No, they don't.
It's not that they don't sell well. I mean, I see them everywhere, but I mean, in the sense is that that's not what Lexus is known for here. They're known more for their little tiny cars.
Yeah, exactly. So and when you think of Toyota, they have like different categories.
Yeah, that is true.
Like the biggest one would be the biggest brand would be a TRD.
Oh yeah.
Toyota Racing Development. Yeah. So like I said, the Toyota is more diverse than Lexus is.
I think the only race segment that I know of, because I personally am a fan of NASCAR and I watch it, and the Daytona 500 will be on. I believe it's next week. I have TiVo taping it for me, so I'm fine. But they're actually they actually have their vehicles in NASCAR.
What, Toyota?
Yeah, Toyota's in NASCAR.
Oh yeah. I've seen. I think. No, I don't think Hondas are in there.
No. Honda has no involvement.
Yeah.
They're actually the only and first import to be in NASCAR.
Yeah, Toyota is.
As of right now, the only brands that are in there are Ford and Chevrolet. Those are the 2 big ones in there. Then it's Toyota and then Dodge. At the end, Dodge only has a few vehicles in there. They're not very well known in that. Well, I mean, they're known in NASCAR, but they don't have a lot of sponsorship in there. They're kind of like way at the back.
But yeah.
And talking about way in the back, have you ever heard of a car company called Studebaker? Very big company back in the early heydays of early manufacturing, like in the early 20th century.
No, I don't. I think I've heard of it once, but
well, if you know classic cars, you'll remember names like Hudson, Studebaker. What was the other one? There was 2 brothers that made a car company also. Actually, Dodge is actually. Did you know that the Dodge company, the one that
aren't they a classic as well?
Yeah, actually the Dodge was named after the Dodge brothers.
Oh,
actually, I think it was the original name of it before Chrysler bought them was their symbol was DB, Dodge Brothers. It was 2 guys just 2 brothers that loved cars and they made their own company, and then Chrysler bought them and just named it as their sports division back in the 60s. But the Studebaker is having big plans to come back. I guess a Colorado man bought the company in the early part of the 21st century, and Studebaker went out of business, I believe, in '67. There was just too much competition from foreign markets, and especially from the big 3 in that day and age. That was in the heyday of the muscle cars when those were coming out, and the big 3 had a big heap with that. And apparently, what's going to happen is that this Colorado man wants to bring back the company, which I have no problems with. I would love to see another auto company. I think, have you heard about that? What's that other car company called? They were trying to bring it back. I haven't heard anything about it. The Tucker?
I've never heard of that.
Oh, yeah. There was the guy only made like 57 cars.
Oh.
And he went out of business. He couldn't get the cars running. There was big problems at auto shows and stuff. It was a good car, but he just got the lame end of the stick. And apparently, I guess what's going to be cool is that they're going to try to reinvent the Studebaker. They're going to bring it back for the 21st century. But the cool thing is that apparently the employees are only going to get paid $1 to start the company. It's more of a volunteer thing. But the funny thing is that the joke is that the big honchos, the big bosses, are going to get $2 on the pay rate for a year. But that is pretty cool to see that an old car company is trying to come back, and it's going to have some more of the same elements that was once in the original company. They're going to try to keep the cars as low-end economic vehicles at this time around, though. So that is pretty cool. And I did want to bring up this story because it is a pretty cool concept. This is called the Chrysler Review. It's what Chrysler's reviewing right now as possibly a coupe concept for their next generation vehicle. This is a Chrysler concept vehicle.
Now, that doesn't look anything like a Chrysler.
Yeah, this is projected what cars, it's what the Lincoln, a couple of years ago, the Lincoln manufacturing from Ford. Well, they concepted a drawing of what the Lincoln might look like in the year 2025. Well, that same company that's done the reinvention for Lincoln back in the future has done this with the Chrysler. And I have to say, of course, elements of this vehicle will never ever be used. There's just too many bold lines. That top right there is too curved, and for the government here in the United States, there's certain safety regulations you have to do to build your vehicle and have it shipped out on the road, and this vehicle will never meet those needs. But it is a cool looking, interesting way of how artisan does involve in the vehicle manufacturing.
But then again, you did say 2025, right?
This is just a projected view, and of course, like if you look at the interior, there's no way that this car will ever be built. This is just, this is classic concept car kind of photography. But I'm more impressed about the grill and stuff. That would be a nice grill to see if it was rounded out and it looked more conventional, obviously. But I just want to bring up, it's a really cool story about how Chrysler is trying to possibly think about their future in the next 25 years. Well, because their styling right now for Chrysler, it is very bold. Like, have you seen the new reinvented 300?
No, I haven't.
It looks really nice compared to the first 300s that you've seen all around.
You mean those Bentley-looking ones?
Yeah. The first ones did look a lot like Bentley copycats, but the new ones, they're very aggressive. Like the headlamps make the vehicle look very aggressive, which is what the first one I think lacked a lot for me. I personally like the more aggressive front ends.
I do admit though, the headlights do look intimidating on this.
Yeah, it does.
Car, yeah.
I like how sleek it looks too.
Yeah, but I don't know, 2025.
That isn't too far away.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's already 2012.
Yeah, well, 13 years?
Yeah.
Maybe not. But I don't know. I don't think that's going to come out.
I do like how the hood does this line curvature on the top, and it's very aerodynamic. I love the headlamps, how they're pushed back into the frame. That is very nice, though. But a cool concept car from Chrysler. And don't forget, you can always check out the pictures at b3radionetwork.webs.com and click on Speed's show tab. And this is another story that I thought was kind of weird. There's a Chinese company that's making a clone of the F-150, but for their own profit. I mean, just take a look at the picture right here. This is an F-150, but this is made by a Chinese company that pretty much took the blueprints of the Ford F-150 and did everything the same except changed a couple of things like the headlamps. And now I'm talking about the shape of the headlamps. I'm talking about just the inside. Like they put the yellow part where the white part should be, and that's about it. And all they're doing is just rebadging it.
Wow, really?
They're rebadging it as a what they call a JOC. It's in Chinese, so I'm not going to even attempt to say the name. But yeah, this looks exactly like an F-150, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, so this is...
wouldn't that cause copyright? Yeah,
but the problem that a lot of manufacturers have is that for whatever... China is... it is a political thing now, where China, it's a communist country and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But with international laws, you really can't tell one country to stop doing something from another country.
That's true.
And the problem is Ford is looking into trying to tell this Chinese manufacturing company to stop making this Ford look-alike model. But I mean, this is very scary that it looks exactly like this, doesn't it?
It does, but it's smaller. If you look at the size.
It's only by a couple of inches, though.
Oh.
It is smaller. I know the Chevrolet's had this problem for years. In the past, this JAC company was caught cloning the Chevrolet Silverado truck.
Oh, so wow. So this isn't the first attempt.
Yeah, no. They've been doing this for like the last 5 years, this same company too. And Chevrolet was able to get them to stop, but it took them years to do it. And by that point, they'd already changed the generation, so it was like 5 years ago that they did that.
Wow. Why would you want to... I think in the car business, you don't get credit for copying other people's ideas.
No, I mean, a lot of companies get a lot of...
I mean, if you have some stuff that are the same or similar...
Cool, but you have to take it and change it.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I know with, at least with me, I'll look at a car and go, oh, that looks like a Lincoln. And then it looks like something else. Like, I always made fun of the Thunderbirds because I know... Well, for me, I'm more of a GM guy than a Ford guy. And the Pontiacs used to have the Firebird on the hood. But Thunderbirds used to have the Thunderbird on the hood. But I always knew Pontiacs first, and so you would see that big screaming eagle on the top of the hood. And then with the Thunderbirds from Ford, it would have the same eagle, but it didn't look like mean or anything. So it just looked like each car company was copying each other.
And then wasn't there a Pontiac Firebird and the Camaro that were exactly the same?
Well, they use the same body panels and the same
okay.
thing. Just like right now, the Silverado and the GMC Sierra use the same. There's a lot of vehicles that do that cross-platform.
Yeah, but if you're copying everything exact like this,
yeah,
you're not getting any credit whatsoever.
Yeah, I know. It is pretty sad, though, huh?
Hell yeah.
And there is one little last tidbit. I saved this one for last because it is pretty cool. What would you do if you had a couple of extra car parts that you didn't want to sell them? Maybe the bumper, like the end's chipped off, so you can't really do anything with it if it's fiberglass or whatever. I mean, what would you do with it?
I don't know.
If you just had extra pieces lying around, like maybe a headlamp, a tail lamp, and you have a bumper.
I don't know.
For whatever reason, you can't sell it. I mean, what's your plan?
I guess recycle it.
Well, there is a cool way to recycle your things, and this one manufacturer, and I've actually done this in the past. I had a front bumper of a Pontiac Sunbird, and what I did is I turned it into a lamp, and apparently someone has turned the back end of a Corvette into a desk.
Whoa! That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Wait, even with the tailpipes?
Yeah, they put the tailpipes there.
That is cool.
That is pretty awesome. So they have the back end of a Corvette. It looks like from the convertible model because the trunk's flat. And what they did is that they just pretty much cut about, imagine the bumper and a foot forward, and then they just cut it off, and then it's pretty much just a desk.
That is badass.
What would be really cool is that if the lights light up at night. Or if they light
up
at all. Yeah, a little switch or something.
That would be cool, yes.
And maybe like it makes like a little like the engine idling sound. That'd be really cool.
Actually, now that I've seen this, I kind of want to do something like that too.
Yeah, like I said, I did that with the front of a front end of a car. I had it on my wall in my room, where it was just like a light system. So I would turn on those lights and stuff. So it was
but
cool.
to use it at the table like that,
yeah,
that's a pretty good idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see that like the front end of a truck or something though. For me. Because it's nice and big and tall. That would be a big, nice desk.
No, see, for me though, I wouldn't like the truck. I would like to make the desk out of the back end of a Skyline.
Is it very curved though?
No.
Oh, it's like really boxy.
Not the new one is, but the old one it's kind of boxy, kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
But like make a table out like that. That'd be cool.
Whatever you do, you have to, when it has the license. Oh yeah, there was also they did that with Fiat.
Oh, wow.
They made it into a sofa. There's a back end of a Porsche where they turned it into a flip up for their big plasma TV. And I guess they turned
what is that?
Tires into chairs. They don't look very comfortable, but it is a pretty cool idea. And then
is that a cooler?
Yeah, a back end of a Corvette that's turned into a cooler. There's a whole bunch of this fun stuff here. I think the desk is probably the best looking thing.
Oh, now that makes me want to do my my hood thing. I want to get like the front end of a car for the engine bay. Yeah. But instead of having the engine there, I want to make it into a barbecue pit.
I would love to put a pool, like a spa.
That is a cool idea.
Yeah. Don't forget, you get to check out the website at b3radionetwork.webs.com. I am Brian Bombarias, and behind the boards, Boontown MacGyver Horn. This is Speed on the B3 Radio Network.